The complete work of Swami Vivekananda, Volume 5, Section 5, Conversation and Dialogues. The Conciliation of Jnana and Bhakti. Satchitananda. How sectarianism originates. Bring in Shraddha and worship of Shakti and Avtaras. The idea of hero we want now, not the Madhura Bhavana, Sri Ramakrishna Avtaras. Disciple, praise Swamiji. How can Jnana and Bhakti be reconciled? We see the followers of the path of devotion close their ears at the name of Shankara, and again the followers path of knowledge, that is Jnani, call the Bhaktas fanatics. Seeing them weep in torment or sing and dance in ecstasy is in the name of the Lord. Swamiji, the thing is, all this conflict is in the preliminary or preparatory stage of Jnana and Bhakti. Have you not heard Sri Ramakrishna's story about Shiva demons and Rama monkeys? Disciple, yes, sir, I have. Swamiji. But there is no difference between the supreme bhakti and supreme jnana. The supreme bhakti is to realize God in the form of prem or love itself. If you see the loving form of God manifest everywhere and in everything, how can you hate or injure others? The realization of love can never come so long as there is the least desire in the heart. And what Sri Ramakrishna used to say, attachment for kama kanchana, that is self pleasure and wealth. In the perfect realization of love, even the consciousness of one's own body does not exist. Also, the supreme jnana is to realize the oneness everywhere, to see one's own self as a self in everything. That too cannot come so long as there is a least consciousness of ego, that is aham. Disciple, then what you call love is the same as supreme knowledge, Swamiji. Exactly so. Realization of love comes to none unless one becomes a perfect jnani. Does not the Vedanta say the Brahman is Satchidananda, the absolute existence, knowledge, and bliss? Disciple, yes, sir. Swamiji, the phase Satchitananda means Sata is existence, Chitta is consciousness or knowledge, and Ananda is bliss, which is the same as love. There is no controversy between Bhakta and Jnani regarding the Sat aspect of Brahman. Only the Jnanis lay greater aspect or lay greater stress on his aspect of Chitta or knowledge, while the Bhaktas keep the aspect of Ananda or love more in view. But no sooner is the essence of Chitta realized than the essence of Anand is also realized. Because what is Chitta is verily the same as Anand. Disciple, why then is so much sectarianism prevailed in India? And why is there so much controversy between the scriptures on bhakti and jnana? Swamiji, the thing is, all the wages of war and controversies is concerning the preliminary ideas, those ideas which men take up to attain the real jnana or real bhakti, but which do not think is the higher, the end or the means. Surely the means can never be higher than the end, because the means is to realize the same end must be of numerous ways, as they vary according to the temperament and mental capacity of individual followers. The counting of bits, meditation, worship, offering oblations in the sacred fire, all this and such other things are the limbs of religion. They are but means, and to attain to supreme devotion, that is the parabhakti or the highest realization of Brahman in the preeminent end is the preeminent end. If you look a little deeper, you will understand what they are fighting about. One say, if you pray to God facing the east, then you will reach him. No, says another, you will have to sit in facing the west, then only you will reach him. Perhaps someone realized God in meditation ages ago by sitting with his face to the east, and his disciple at once began to preach this attitude, asserting that none can ever see God unless he assumes this position. Another partly comes forward and inquires, How is that such and such a person realized God while facing the West? And we have seen this ourselves. In this way, all these sects have originated. Someone might have attained supreme devotion by repeated saying the name of Lord Hari, and at once it entered into the composition of Shastras as Harer Naman, Harer Namanev Kevalam. कलौ नास्तेव gatirantara. The name of Hari, the name of Hari, the name of Hari, name of Lord Hari alone. Verily, there is no other path than this is the age of Kali. Someone, again, let us suppose, might have attained perfection with the name of Allah, and immediately another creed originated by him again began to spread, and so on. But we have to see what is the idea of which all these forms of worships and other religious practices are intended to lead. The end is Shraddha. We have not any synonym in our Bengali language to express the Sanskrit word Shraddha. The Katha Upanishad says that Shraddha entered into the heart of Nachiket. Even with the word ekagraha, that is one pointedness, we cannot express the whole signification of the word Shraddha. The word ekagrahista convey the certain extent the meaning of word Shraddha. If you meditate on the truth with steadfast devotion and concentration, you will see that the mind is more and more tending onward to oneness, taking you towards the realization of absolute existence, knowledge, bliss. The scriptures of Bhakti or Jnana give special advice to the men to take up in the life the one or the other of such nishtas and make it their own. With the lapse of ages, these great truths become distorted and gradually transforms themselves into the Desha Chakra or the prevailing customs of the country. It has happened and not only in India but in every nation, every society in the world. This the bone and the common people lacking in discrimination make this the bone of contention and fight among themselves. They have lost sight of the end and hence sectarianism, quarrels and fights continue. Disciple, what then is the saving means, Swamiji? Swamiji, that true Shraddha has of old has to be brought back again. The weeds have to be taken up by the roots. In every faith and in every path, there are no doubts, truths which transcend time and space, but a good deal of rubbish has accumulated over them. This has to be cleared away, and the true eternal principles have to be held before the people, and then only our religion and our country will be really benefited. Disciple, how will that be affected, Swamiji? Why, first of all, we have to introduce the worship of the great saints, those great souled ones who have realized the eternal truths are to be presented before the people or has the ideas to be followed. As in the case of India, Sri Ramachandra, Sri Krishna, Mahavir, and Sri Ramakrishna, among others. Can you bring in the worship of Sri Ramachandra and Mahavir in the country? Keep aside for the present the Vrindavan aspect of Sri Krishna ruling the Gita out with the voice of the lion and bring into daily use worship of Shakti, the Divine Mother, the source of all the powers. Disciples, source of all powers. Next, disciple. Is the divine play of Sri Krishna with the gopis of Vrindavan not good then, Swamiji? Under the present circumstances, that worship is no good to you. Playing on the flute and so on will not regenerate the country. We now mostly need the idea of a hero with a tremendous spirit of Rajas thrilling through his vein from head to foot, the hero who will dare and die to know the truth. The hero whose armor is renunciation, whose sword is wisdom, We want now the spirit of a brave warrior in the battlefield of life, and not of a wooing lover who looks upon life as a pleasure garden. Disciple is then the path of love as depicted in the idea of Gopi's false Swamiji. Who says so? Not I. That is a very supreme form of worship, sadhana. In these ages of tremendous attachment to sense pleasure and wealth, very few are able even to comprehend those higher ideas. Disciple, then are you not those who are worshipping God as husband or lovers following the path? Swamiji, I dare so not say not. I dare say not. There may be a few honorable exceptions. There may be few honorable exceptions among them, but now that the great part of them are possessed of darkness or dark tamasic nature, most of them are full of morbidity and affected with exceptional weakness. The country must be raised, the worship of Mahavir must be introduced. The Shakti Puja must form the part of our basic practices. Sri Ramachandra must be worshipped in every home. Therein lies your welfare, therein lies the good of the country. There is no other way, disciple. But I have heard that Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna used to sing the name of God very much. Swamiji, quite so. But his was a different case. What comparison can there be between him and originate and ordinary man? What can there be a between comparison can there be between him and originate ordinary man and an ordinary man? He practiced in his life all the different ideas of religion to show that each of them leads but to the one truth. Shall you and I ever be able to do all that he has done? None of us has understood him fully, so I do not venture to speak about him anywhere and everywhere. He alone knows what he himself really was. His frame was a human and his frame was a human one only, but every else about him was entirely different from others. Disciple, may do you may I ask, believe him to be an avatar or in a incarnation of God? Swamiji, tell me first, what do you mean by avatar? Disciple, why? I mean one like Sri Ramachandra, Sri Krishna, Sri Gauranga, Buddha, Jesus, etc. Swamiji, I know Bhagwan Sri Ram Krishna, Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna to be even greater than those you have just named. What to speak of believing, which is petty thing, I know. Let us, however, drop the subject now. More of it another time. After a pause, Swamiji continued to re-establish the Dharma. There come Mahapurushas, great teachers of humanity, suited to the needs of time and society. Call them what you will, either Mahapurush or Avtaras, it matter little. They reveal each in his life the idea. Then by degrees shapes are mounted in their metrics. Mean Men are made. Gradually, sects arise and spread. As time goes on, this sect degenerates and similar reformers come again. This has been the law flowing in uninterrupted succession, like the current down the ages. Disciple, why do you not preach Sri Ramakrishna as an avatar? You have indeed power, eloquence, and everything else needed to do it. Swamiji, truly, I tell you, I have understood him very little. He appears to me to have been so great that whenever I have to speak anything of him, I am afraid lest I ignore or explain away the truth, lest my little power does not suffice. Lest is trying to extol him. I present his picture by painting him according to his light and belittle him thereby. Disciple, but many are now preaching him as an avatar. Swamiji, let them do so if they like. They are doing it in the light in which they have understood him. You too can go and do the same if you have understood him. Disciple, I cannot even grasp you. What to say of Sri Ramakrishna? I should consider myself blessed in this life if I get a little of your grace. Brahman and differentiation. Personal realization of oneness. Supreme bliss is the goal of all. Think always I am Brahman. Discrimination and renunciation are the means. Be fearless. Disciple, pray, Swamiji, if the one Brahman is the only reality, why then exist all the differentiation in the world? Swamiji, are you not considering this question from the point of the view of phenomenal existence? Looking for the phenomenal side of existence, one can, through reasoning and discrimination, gradually arrive at every root of unity. But if you were firmly established in that unity, how from that standpoint, tell me, could you see this differentiation? But if you were firmly established in that unity, how from this standpoint, tell me, could you see the differentiation? Disciple, true. If I had existed in the unity, if I had existed in the unity, how should I be able to raise the question of why? As I put this question, it is already taken for granted that I do so by seeing the diversity. Swamiji, very well. To inquire about the root of oneness through the diversity of phenomenal existence is the name of the Shastra, has Vyatira, Vyat, Vyatireki reasoning. Vyatireki reasoning, or the process of arguing by indirect methods, or the process of arguing by indirect methods, adhya, that is adhyaropan, that is adhyarupa, adhyarupa and adhyavada. First taking for granted something that is non-existent or unreal as existing or real, and then showing through the course of reasoning that that is not a substance existing or real. You are talking of the process of arriving at the truth through assuming that which is not true as true. Are you not, disciple? To my mind, the state of existence or the scene seem of to be self-evident and hence true, and that which is opposite to it seems, on the other hand, to be unreal. Swamiji, but the Vedas say one only without a second, and if in reality there is one only that exists, the Brahman, then your differentiation is false. You believe in the Vedas, I suppose. Disciple, oh, yes. For myself, I hold the Vedas as the highest authority. But if in argument one does not accept them to be so, one must in that case have to be refuted by other means. Swamiji, that also can be done. Look here, a time comes when what you call differentiation vanishes, and we cannot perceive it at all. I have experienced that state in my own life. Disciple, when have you done so? Swamiji, one day in the temple garden at Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna touched me over the heart, and first of all, I began to see that the houses, rooms, doors, windows, verandas, trees, sun, and moon all were flying off, shattering into the pieces as it were, reduced to atoms and molecules, and ultimately become merged in the Akash. Gradually, again, the Akash also vanished, and after that, my consciousness of the ego with it. What happened next I do not recollect. I was at first frightened. Coming back from the state again, I begged to see the houses, doors, windows, verandas, and others. On another occasion, I had exactly the same realization by the side of the lake in America. Disciple, might not that as well might not this state as well be brought about by the dearrangement of the brain, and I do not understand what happens there can be in realizing such a state. Swamiji, a dearrangement of the brain, how can you call it so when it comes neither as the result of delirium from any disease, nor the toxication from drinking, nor has an illusion reproduced by various sort of queer, square, queer breathing exercise, but when it comes to the normal man in full possession of his health and wits, then again this experience is in perfect harmony with the Vedas. It also coincidence with the word of realization of the inspiration or the inspired rishi and chakras of old. Do you take me at last to be the crack-brained man? Smiling. Disciple. Oh no, I did not mean that, of course. When there are to be found hundreds of illustrations about such realization of oneness in the Shastras, and when you say that it can be as directly realized as a fruit in the palm of one's hand, and when it has been your own personal experience in life, perfectly coinciding coinciding with the words of the Vedas and other Shastras. How dare I say that it is false? Sri Shankaracharya, who realized that the state who has said, where is the universal vanished or universe vanished, and so on. Swamiji, know this knowledge of oneness is what the Shastras speak of as realization of the Brahman, by knowing which one gets rid of fear and shackles of birth and death, break forever. Having once realized that supreme bliss, one is no more overwhelmed by pleasure and pain of this world. Men being fettered by base lust and wealth cannot enjoy this bliss of Brahman. Discipline. Next, disciple. If it is so, and if we are really of the essence of Supreme Brahmans, then why do we not exert ourselves to gain that bliss? Why do we again and again run into the jaws of death, being decoyed, decoyed by this worthless snare of lust and wealth? Swamiji, you speak as if a man does not desire to have the bliss. Pounded over it, and you will see that whatever anyone is doing, he is doing in the hope of gaining that supreme bliss. Only not everyone is conscious of it, and so cannot understand it. The supreme bliss fully exists in all, from Brahman down to the blade of blade of grass. You are also that undivided Brahman. This very moment you can realize if you find or if you think yourself truly and absolutely to be so. It is all mere want of direct perceptions that you have taken service and work so hard for the sake of your wife also shows that the aim is ultimately to attain the supreme bliss of Brahman. Being again and again entangled in the intricate maze of delusion and hard hit by sorrows and afflictions, the eye will turn of itself to one's own real nature, the inner self. It is owing to the presence of desire for bliss in the heart That man, getting hard shocks one after another, turns his eyes inward to his own self. A time is sure to come to everyone, without exception, when he will do so. To one is to one it may be in this life, or to another, or after thousands of incarnation. Next, disciple. It is it all depends upon it all depends upon the blessings of the Guru and the grace of God. Swamiji, the wind of grace of God, Lord, is blowing on forever and ever. Do you spread your sail? Whenever you do anything, do it with your own heart, concentrated on it. Think day and night, I am of the essence of supreme existence and bliss. What fear and anxiety have I? This body, mind, and intellect are all transient, and that which is beyond this is myself. Disciple, thoughts like this come only for a while, now and then, but quickly vanish, and I think all sort of trash and nonsense. Swamiji, it happens, it happens like that in the initial stage, but gradually it is overall or overcome. But from the beginning, intensity of desire in the mind is needed. Think always, I am ever pure, ever knowing, ever free. How can I do anything evil? Can I ever be befooled like ordinary men with the insignificant charms of lust and wealth? Strengthen the mind with such thoughts. This will ensure or surely bring real good. Disciple. Once in a while, strength of the mind comes. But then again, I think that if I would appear at the deputy magistrate's ship examination, wealth and name and fame would come, and I should live very happy and well. Swamiji, whenever such thought come in the mind, discriminate within yourself between the real and unreal. Have you not read the Vedant? Even when you sleep, keep the sword of discrimination at the head of your bed, so that covetousness cannot approach you even in the dream. Practicing such strength, renunciation will gradually come, and then you will see the portals of the heaven are wide open for you. Disciple, if it is so, Swamiji, how is it then that the text on bhakti says that too much of renunciation kills the feeling of or feeling that makes for tenderness? Swamiji, throw away, I say, texts which teach things like this. Without renunciation, without burning dispassion for sense objects, without turning away from wealth and lust as from filthy obligations, na siddhati brahmashatantare api. Never can one attain salvation even in hundreds of Brahma cycles. Repeating the names of the Lord, meditation, worship, offering libations in sacrifice fire or secret fire, penance, all these are for bringing forth renunciation. One can one who has not gained renunciation knows his efforts to be like unto those of the man who is pulling at the oars all the while that the boat is at anchor. न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेन एके अमृत अमृतत्व तत्वम anashu. Never by progeny nor by wealth, but by renunciation alone. Some rare ones attain immortality, kaivalya. Disciple, will mere renunciation of wealth and loss accomplish everything? Swamiji, there are others hindrances on the path even after renouncing those two. Then, for example, comes name and fame. Very few men, unless of exceptional strength, can keep their balance under that. People shower honor upon them, and various enjoyments creep in by degree. It is owing to this that three-fourths of the Tyagis are debarred from further progress. For establishing this math and other things, who know who knows but that I may have to come back again. Who knows that who knows but that I may have to come back again.